All right, so DP Photography here, bringing another video. You know, it's been a few, I don't know how long, almost 2 weeks since my last video. So I need to get something out there. And as I told you, there was a second part to my video of, Ride Before the Storm, where I went out and tracked about 20 miles on the EUC. As you can see, I am on, what is this? This is White Street Pier, and that right there is the coordinates for Key West. This is gonna be the more scenic route, you know, along the beach, roll past the southernmost point, down Duval Street, up Lazy Way Lane, over Garrison Bike Bridge. A fun ride, you know, a great experience, you know, putting that work in, as I like to say, because it's something that you have to do in order to get better at EUCing, man. And, you know, I'm totally living the dream. I gotta say, you know, I'm definitely in a comfortable spot now. I recently just did an update on the Lynx. You know, I've never done an update on any of my machines. I'm one of those people that are, you know, if it isn't broken, then don't fix it. And I've liked, you know, my One Wheel GT with the same firmware that it's had. You know, I still don't have it updated with the haptic buzz. And I wasn't going to update the Lynx either, but, you know, I watched a video from Mr. Wrong Way. Then I actually asked him, you know, what he thought about this new firmware, and he said it was great. And he's a YouTuber that, you know, I definitely trust and believe what he says, because he's not catering to these companies. So I went ahead and tried it. And furthermore, you know, I wanted to see if this would fix the issue with the Lynx raising up in the front once I turned on the lights, which it didn't. You know, I still will not be using the light that's integrated with the EUC, just my Grizzly lights. But like I say, I'm enjoying everything. You know, I hope you guys are out there enjoying everything yourselves. You know, just being safe and, you know, living the dream. Now on this ride, you know, I probably got up to about, I don't know, 35 miles or so. That definitely does seem a little bit fast. You know, it's nothing too crazy. It feels good. When it wobbles at that speed, you know, it's a strong, overwhelming feeling. But I haven't had too many wobbles. Been doing pretty good with the EUC. This road here is pretty bumpy, but it's all right as well. It's like I said before, you know, I haven't talked much about the suspension, but the suspension on this Lynx is absolutely amazing, man. Everything feels buttery smooth, you know, going over cracks, going over rock, you know, riding on different terrains. It feels amazing, you know, it's so cushiony, and you gotta love it, you know. Also, Pid Zoom Mirror, people from Pid Zoom reached out and asked if they could use my picture on their website, which, you know, always feels good. You know, to some people that might not feel like anything, you know, because, oh, I'm not getting paid, but, you know, I appreciate anyone who's out there making good products, you know, things that are gonna make it more beneficial for riding. And this Pid Zoom Mirror definitely does the trick, stops me from having to turn my head around and look back. You know, I just turn my head a little bit to the side and I could see what's going on in my rear view. Like I said, I did end up throwing a few screws in it just to secure it, because, you know, I have left it out in the sun a few times, and that has caused, here you see me at southernmost point, you know, yeah. Line's not too crazy either, you know, a lot of the times that line is out of control. And here's some salt water that I don't want to be riding through, but, you know, I gotta do what I gotta do. But yeah, I left the Pid Zoom mirror out in the sun, and that will be the reason for the glue not sticking or the adhesive not sticking to the helmet as well as it should be. But you know, the 4 screws did the trick, man, and yeah, everything is everything. Now I'm getting ready to jump on Duval Street, which is Key West, arguably most famous street. You know, I can't think of another street that could be more popular. You know, you do have the beaches, but even the beaches wouldn't be as popular as Duval Street, man. Many a nights, you know, hanging out on this street, no sleep, not wanting to sleep, you know, just partying all night. This is a party town. Although I'm a bit older now, don't do partying like I used to, not at all. I can't even tell you the last time I went out and hung out, man. I just work, EUC, and home, you know, and kids. Got all that stuff going on, cheerleading, soccer, ballet, tumble class, all these different things. But as for the Lynx, the Lynx is a fantastic machine. Haven't had any problems with it, man. Like, it's just so smooth. You know, I do think about the Sherman L, you know, that being the newest, greatest thing on the block, but the Lynx is perfectly fine for me, you know. 88 pounds, pretty lightweight, you know, speed. I have so much more that I could get, so much headroom. So this is kind of like perfect for me, you know. The Sherman L, you know I could handle it now, but you know, it'd be a few more pounds. I think it'd get more distance, you know, but not a whole lot. And it's not like I'm really doing, you know, 50 plus miles anyway. You know, I'm riding this thing today, 20 miles, and this is gonna be the most that I've ever done. Now you can see, now you can see how pretty Duval Street is. You know, this is where everybody comes. This is where all the tattoo shops. This is where all your $5 t-shirt shops are at. All the art, all, you know, anything that's anything in Key West. This is where it's gonna be at. Great restaurants. This is not necessarily the side that, you know, I usually hang out on, but yeah, you get the point. But back to the Lynx, you know, this EUC is an excellent EUC. I'm so glad that I went with it. You know, this was my first purchase. And when I first got it, couldn't ride it, you know, sat in the kitchen for about a month or so, had to get the V8S to actually learn on. But now that I have it as my main EUC, you know, life is fantastic. Have yet to really ride it in the street. You know, I'm riding in the street right now, but you can see it's not a whole lot of traffic around me. When I say in the street, I mean, you know, 35, 40 miles per hour on the main roads, southernmost, what is it? South Roosevelt Boulevard, North Roosevelt Boulevard, in traffic with cars around. And that's something that I'm not rushing. You know, I'll get there when I really feel comfortable with it. Then I'll go out there and I'll do that, man. Still getting all the eyes that I'm used to getting. You know, everybody looking, what is that thing? This dude is on the spaceship. I had someone ask me, you know, how do I like the body armor, man? And I love it. You know, some people, you know, in our world, think that it looks, you know, Terminator-ish or RoboCop-ish, and that might be the case, but here in Key West, all I get is compliments, you know? Everybody loves, look, you see everybody looking and like, what is it? Well, everybody loves, you know, the look. You know, it has like a pretty unique look. And I tend to like it, you know, not to mention it's gonna save me if I do have that crash, you know. Might still get a little bit injured, but it's gonna minimize the impact, that's for sure. And that's why it's always good to have on safety gear. I'm not gonna sit here and lie and say that I wear safety gear 100% of the time, but I try to, you know. And when I don't, it's more of a thing out of laziness, you know. I should always put it on, you know, because it doesn't take me more than 2 or 3 minutes to get everything on. But when you want to ride that EUC, sometimes you're a little bit anxious and, you know, you tend to just jump on the thing. Now this, you know, is one of my favorite areas in Key West. This will be Lazy Way Lane, you know, cool little alleyway in Key West that they decorate a whole lot. A lot of the boats go out from here, a lot of like the little sunset cruises and, you know, fishing things. And yeah, it's a cool little place. You got Schooner Wharf over here. Also got, you know, Key West Brewery. And, you know, that boat right there is something that I purchased my shrimp straight off of. But I enjoy Key West a lot, man. I don't know how comfortable I would feel in the other cities. I guess with time comes comfort. People still looking like, man, look at this guy. What is he riding, man? Yeah, but life is good. You know, EUC, tending to ride my one wheel less every day now, man. But I always gotta come back to it and say, you know, I do love the one wheel. Never get me wrong. Not saying that I don't ride it. I used to ride it most times when I needed to do anything with my hands. Those days are a thing of the past. I can use my hands on the EUC. Still gotta be a little bit cautious, because the EUC is heavy and it's something that, you know, you need to actually stand up. Can't just coast on it like you do on the one wheel. One wheel to me is more groovy and more sidewalk friendly, I'll say. But I'm tending to jump on the EUC a lot more often. If not for anything, just to get that practice in. I always want to take a chance to get better. I always want to put myself in more real world environments to actually grow. And don't get it mistaken, you know, I'm definitely still growing on this EUC. Like I say, you know, I haven't even hit 40 miles per hour yet. 35 feels pretty fast. 30 actually feels like the sweet spot right now. 31, 32-ish. I'm sure in time that will become a thing of the past as well. These streets are wet out here, but as soon as I get home, I'm going to be wiping my baby down. Yes, she is my baby, and I have yet to name her. Now I'm getting ready to head up Key West's highest bridge, and I'm sure I'll do that with no problem. Even my one wheel gets up these inclines without any problem. It's gonna be cool to feel what it feels like on the EUC. Now, what else can we talk about? You know, how many of my fellow EUC riders and my one-wheelers, how many of you out there are actually into MMA or UFC, you know, because it's something that I definitely, you know, I don't miss a fight card. I do not miss a fight card. Now, what I do miss sometimes is a contender series, and that's where you learn about who's coming up on the regional scene. But that's something that I will start doing if enough of you guys are into it. Now, this weekend, we got Ilya Topuria versus Max Holloway. Should be a great fight. Should be a great fight. A lot of people are saying that Max Holloway will make it easy. Even Alexander Volkanovski has said that, you know, he's been in there with both of them, and Max Holloway is gonna take this pretty easily. And I have to beg to differ. You know, I think Ilya Topuria is definitely an elite guy. Max Holloway already has 7 losses on his record. But, you know, I'm not counting him out. I'm not saying that he doesn't have a chance to win, but I do think that Ilya Topuria will be victorious in this fight. It's gonna be a good one. You know, the whole card's supposed to be stacked. Matter of fact, you know, you also have on there Robert Whittaker taking on Khamzat Chimaev, which he also has 7 losses on his record. And he's fighting Khamzat. That's a good fight, man. That is gonna, I think Ilya Topuria will have a much easier time than Robert Whittaker and Khamzat Chimaev. That's gonna be a little bit more tricky to pick because Khamzat does gas. And if Robert Whittaker takes a page out of Kamaru Usman's book and recognizes that this guy will gas, not to mention, I think Robert Whittaker is a little bit bigger than Kamaru Usman, then Khamzat might have a hard time. He's gonna have to come out there and win in that first round. Otherwise, you know, once you get into the later rounds, Khamzat is definitely gonna struggle. You also have Magomed Ankalaev versus Rakic. That's definitely a great card. Oh, that's been canceled. Cyril Gone and Alexander Volkov has been canceled. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. Tell me what you guys think. You know, if there's something that you are into, let me know down in the comments, or if it's something that I should just start a whole nother channel for, I'll go ahead and do that. But UFC is definitely something that I'm into big time. And if there's anything else that you guys, you know, want to hear about or want to talk about, let me know. Drop that down in the comments as well. It's been a nice little ride all the way around Key West. Got this under my belt, feels great. EUC life, baby. EUC and being safe. That's what it is. I am truly, truly enjoying where I am on this journey. Not an easy thing, you know, not an easy crossover from one wheel to the EUC, but definitely doable, you know, consistency, patience, just getting out there and practicing, getting the right gear so to make sure you're safe in case of a fall, but feels great. I don't know, maybe I'll get another EUC or something like that, but you know, that's gonna be it for the day. And I just want to thank everybody for watching. As always, drop your comments, all that good stuff. If you haven't already, like, subscribe, ring that bell. You know what it is, DP Photography, also known as The Real Birdman, and I can't say how much I appreciate you guys for everything you've done. That first $100 on YouTube has been earned, and you know, even though it's not a lot of money, it's a cool thing, man. We're in the money, baby. We're 50 G's, baby. No, let me stop, man. Thank you guys for watching, man, and until next time, I'm out.